Welcome to 1 Million Cups Dallas in Capital Factory and the deck. Good to see you all here this morning. There's plenty of seats in the front, so we do welcome you to fill up the space in the front if you can. If not, be comfortable. We're happy to have you here. My name is Isabel. I'm the lead organizer with the Dallas chapter. There are several other 1 Million Cups within the DFW Metroplex. Irving launched last week, so again, we're excited about the expansion that's happening across DFW. They only meet monthly, so we just want to make sure that, for those of you that have heard about the Irving chapter, we are here weekly in Dallas, but they only run their event monthly in the study, and I believe it's the third Wednesday of every month. That's their plan. And then there's Frisco, there's Fort Worth, and Addison. Yes, in Addison. So they all run weekly events as well. Just a quick housekeeping. If you need to know where the restrooms are, if it's your first time here, the restrooms are actually behind the wall, behind the kitchen. And we do have co-working. Capital Factory offers that on Wednesdays after 1 Million Cups. The only thing that we ask is that you do check in with their team to officially sign in so they know you're here, and you can only co-work in the space on the first floor, which is, you can hang out around here as long as there's not an event happening throughout the day. Then you would, of course, have to shift over and use the lounge area, which is on the other side of that wall, and then around the back, which is like a VR room. You can use that space as well. But the conference rooms are closed off to us. Those are private spaces that are rented out. And you are welcome to have a tour with Kinga. She can check you in at the front, or with Luna, she's there as well. Okay, so who's here for the first time? Excellent, glad to have you here. Thank you for coming. We always love to have new people and share what we're up to, and hopefully you enjoy the time and participate, and invite someone else to come with you the next time you attend. So I always like to start with who we are, what this is about, because a lot of times people have heard about it, but they don't really understand it. Like, what is the name? What is 1 Million Cups anyways? So 1 Million Cups is actually, it actually means drinking 1 million cups of coffee over 1 million cups of conversation. The concept came out of the Kaufman Foundation. There was a team there 6 years ago, actually, and they wanted to meet more entrepreneurs locally. They really didn't personally know a lot of entrepreneurs, so they decided to come up with this event where they would have entrepreneurs attend and they'd speak about their businesses. And it took off like wildfire. So here we are now, 5 years later in Dallas, and we can say we're having our 5-year anniversary coming up in a couple of months. So it says 5 years, that's 5 years for Dallas, but it's actually 6 years as an organization, and they're across 182 cities. So, super exciting. We do have an app. We would love for you to download, bless you. You're welcome. We'd love for you to download the app and check in. It's a great way for you to see who else is here and see who else is within that app. There's over 1,000 people in DFW that have registered on our app, and you can look at what's happening in the other communities as well. And you can leave feedback. So both presenters are listed, and you can actually, there'll be a button after, it's not there now, I think it'll be there in about 20 minutes, where you can actually say, oh, it's there now actually. You can click on give feedback and actually rate them and leave a message as well. Okay. So, there's one more thing I'd like to mention. So we do have a new sponsor that's with us today, Dallas Baptist University. They'll hit the stage during the halftime just to let you know a little bit about what they're up to and how they're supporting entrepreneurs. And so they are also collecting business cards if you would like. It's not an obligation, but if you'd like, you can leave your card in their sort of in a vase, however you pronounce it, depends where you're from, I guess. And they're going to do a draw for a prize. And then we also have a photo booth here, which is something different today. Incredible Sounds has sponsored a photo booth, so we can have a little more fun with each other today and make this a memorable day. Feel free to go and snap some shots after, and then you'll have a token to take home with you after attending 1 Million Cups Dallas. So I am going to invite our first presenter, Kevin Lewis, to the stage. He's got an organization called CMIT Solutions, and we start off in Dallas by standing up. We give a round of applause to welcome our presenter, so I'd love for you to join me. He has 6 minutes to present.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. By show of hands, just everyone, don't even show your hands, raise your phone up, raise your phone. Everyone that has a phone, that brought a phone to here today, that lives by their phone, and if you lost your phone today, you wouldn't know what to do. That's probably 99%. My wife is the same way. When my wife ever leaves the house and she comes and she leaves her phone, it doesn't matter how far away from the house she is, she's turning around to get that telephone. And if you're using telephones, that's a part of IT today. So my company, CMIT Solutions, what we do is we focus and target on small to medium-sized business owners, and we're really to educate and support IT for all of us small and medium-sized business owners. This first slide, I'm not going to go by the slide, but who am I? So the first thing that I want people to understand, native Dallas Texan, born and raised here, born in Parkland Hospital. Yes, of course, I'm a Cowboys fan and a Mavericks fan and all those other things. But most importantly, I've spent 27 years in the IT outsourcing industry. I worked for Ross Perot, Michael Dell, and recently the company, Dell, when he bought EMC, he sold the company to a company. He sold Dell Services to NTT Data, which was a Japanese-based company. At that time, basically, they did a refresh, or they did what we call it a downsizing. And at that point in time, I decided that it was time for me to really just start and take that 27 years of experience that I've had and bring it to the small to medium-sized business market because it's so underserved. When I was doing IT outsourcing, we didn't even look at small customers. If you were a small business owner, we would even entertain you if you needed support. So that inspired me at that particular time, instead of going back into corporate America, to actually take that knowledge and bring it to the small business platform. A couple of things about me. My company, I started it in November of last year. I actually opened my doors for business in March of this year. And I actually decided CMIT Solutions, completely managed IT solutions, is a franchise model. But the reason why I went with a franchise model instead of starting from the ground up is because of the foundation that it builds, right? As a pastor at my church, I always preach about having a solid foundation. So the franchise model is what worked for me. The great thing is what it did is it brought me all of my alliance partners. I have about 22 alliance partners that allow me to provide a good economy of scale and support all the small and medium-sized business owners. But most importantly, it's autonomous, right? So the business is totally dependent on what I do, what I bring as an owner to the business. So presentations and sales and marketing and all of that kind of stuff, I'm on the hook for that. So just a little bit about my background. So why am I doing this? What am I doing? So what I'm doing is I'm providing IT services to small to medium-sized business owners. The key nugget that I want everyone to understand, the typical, for me to go and hire, you to go hire an IT tech, their average salary right now is about $54,000 a year that you have to pay them. It doesn't include, I'm out sick, it doesn't include my dog ate my homework, that's why I didn't get the systems done. It doesn't include a lot of things, but if for that scale, I can support about 100 devices, 100 computers, 75 mobile devices, 2 to 3 servers, for the price it will cost you to hire your own IT technician. So with that said, that I'm able to actually provide those savings on to you. So I always tell people, if you decide that people want a control, so they want to hire their own person, but that person is going to cost you $54,000, I can save you about 89% of your IT spend per technician. Right? And most small business owners, we don't think that way, right? Because we're thinking, no, I got to run whatever my business is, and that's where my focus is. But IT is so critical; it's an integral part of everything we do. So this is what I'm providing to the community. Does your business struggle if technology fails? And I'm not going to go through each and every one of these slides, but these questions is the things that I want to resonate in your mind, right, when you leave today, what happens if your phone doesn't work? What happens if your computer isn't working today? So we don't take into account of how much we lose, right? We don't take into account of how much man time that's costing me for every hour that computer is down. And this slide is, even though the slide is dated and it says in 2014, when I ran the numbers just the other day, the average spend for a small business owner on IT is about 6.7%. So you see those numbers from 2014 to 2018, they haven't changed. We just don't see a value, for whatever reason, to spend a lot on IT. Are you worried about security? Everyone here is about cybersecurity. I get an email every single day about a new breach in cybersecurity. What does the downtime mean to you? So all of those things we need to take in consideration as small and medium-sized business owners. So why am I doing this? I'm doing it for the simple fact that it's an underserved market. It's a market that we need support, we need to understand it, we need to be secured so that we as small business owners can focus on why we in the business. Whatever your business line is, that's the reason why that's why you're into it. So, but you need to understand that technology it shouldn't be a handicap, it shouldn't be a pain point for you, it should be something that benefits you tremendously. Thank you.
Great presentation. We will now open up the floor for questions. Chris and I will come around with the microphone. Please wait until you get the mic to ask your question. But the first question to you is, what can we as a community do for you?
As a community, what you can do for me is one of the things that I'm trying to be a disruptor in this force. There's a lot of companies that provide IT support. But what I want to do is my aspiration is I want to build a virtual inside sales team. So I don't want to be able to spend a lot of money on sales. What I want is all of you and everyone you know to be my virtual sales team. And I do that through a referral system that I use, an uncapped referral system that I use. So just the word of mouth, spread that, or if there's a desire to know more about what is your referral system and what does that mean, that would be tremendous for me.
All right, we'll now open the floor for questions.
So within the SMB space, do you have a particular kind of target small business that you find you're able to provide services for?
Great question. So typically, what I normally see is about around 10 computers, maybe a server, maybe not a server, and then the ratio from a computer to a mobile device is typically about 75%. So if you have 10 computers, typically out of those 10 employees, 75% typically it's higher, use a mobile device as well. So when they leave their computer, basically they're taking their phone with them, they're taking their computer system with them. We all check our emails. So typically that's the typical size customer that I see. So I use those numbers, nice round numbers as well, 10, 1, and 7 to 8. Great question. Any more questions? This is free consulting.
You mentioned referrals as a large part of your business. How have you been getting customers thus far?
First and foremost, my sphere of influence. Being in the industry for about 27 years, I have over 1,000 contacts. So when I decided to go into my own business, basically I reached out to everyone and says, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And my first 3 customers were just from sphere of influence. They've known what I've done for so many years, and they said, hey, I need IT support. Sign me up. And everything else, it's just networking and it's word of mouth.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you work with startup companies, like with just putting everything together? Would you come in at that point? Or are you looking for an established company?
Great question. So absolutely, I work with startups, established, any type of, it doesn't matter what phase you're in with your company, I'll definitely work with you. For a startup, a great thing is budgeting, right? What is it going to cost? These are the tools that I'm going to need, and at least you'll have a number to know what to budget so that you can start out on your IT spend correctly.
You normally charge hourly or a flat rate per month?
Great question. So both. Dion said that a long time ago when he was getting ready to play football. But I charge, Typically, it's a flat rate. So say, for instance, you have 10 computers, 1 server, 8 devices that are supported. That is a flat monthly rate. And then that will never change, right, unless you're adding or you're taking away devices. But let's say you have a project. Let's say, for instance, you've outgrown your building. Now you're moving to another building, and you want me to move all of your IT from one building to the other building. That's a project, and that's on a rate base, hour base. Great question.
What are some of the challenges that small businesses have in the IT department?
The number one challenge is, I would say, it's mental, right? It's a mentality that I don't need to pay for IT support. My cousin does IT. My son is in school, right, taking computer technology. So they don't feel that and I say I'm a small business owner as well. We don't feel that there's a need to do it. So when we cut corners, we say we can get by. But the key thing is we need to understand and remember that the cost, that downtime, what we don't is, if we ever thought about how much does it cost me to be down and not operational, then that would be not something that we would pay a lot of attention to, because the amount of downtime you would have, if you just had 2 incidents in a year, you would have been paid for your proactive IT support. So that's the biggest challenge, getting small business to understand, small and medium-sized business owners to understand that.
Can you tell us a little bit about your struggles during this entrepreneur journey? Like some boundaries that you have faced, how you're plowing through it, whatever example you'd like to use.
Great question. My biggest challenge is there's a lot of companies that do what I do, right? So I have to, so my biggest challenge is explaining the value that you get with the vetting CMIT Solutions, Best Southwest be your IT provider. One of my positives that helps me is my years of experience. So it builds a certain level of confidence. But at the end of the day, this is a relationship trust business, right? The only way you're going to trust me to your assets that are that valuable to you, that are that critical to your business is you have to trust me. And the only way you're going to trust me is I have to build that relationship. So one of the things that I add with all of my services is you have my cell phone number. So even though, yes, my company is providing you a service, if there's any issues, you can call Keegan directly and say, hey, what's going on? When is it going to be fixed? And that's what's important to me, the relationship. Great question.
We have time for a few more questions. If anyone in the audience has a question, no matter how big or small, feel free to ask a question now. I have plenty of questions. So I would also like to know, how are you building relationships with your clients or potential clients? Because this is a very personal thing, sort of, and I feel like if you have a working rapport with a client, it will fare better for you in the end as far as referrals and things like that go.
So a couple of things is I'm a member in my area that I'm in, Best Southwest, that's the Cedarville, Duncanville area. I'm a member of every chamber. So I go to all the chamber events, I support the chamber events to a certain extent. I too have a budget just like everyone else. But at the end of the day, it has to be a face to name, right? And it has to be a willingness to help. So I volunteer for a lot of things. I support all of the different school districts in my community. So for me, being a new startup, then for me, it's building that rapport, building that relationships. And at the end of the day, it's about, you might not need, none of the people that I'm talking to, interacting with, they might not need IT support today. But if they need it 6 months from now, a year from now, a year and a half from now, Keegan does this. Let me call Keegan. And at the end of the day, what I want to also do is I build partnerships with different companies. So you might sell insurance, you might sell supplies, whatever I build those relationships as well, so that if my customer comes to me or potential customer, they say, well, Keegan, I don't need IT, but I need supplies. Keegan, I don't need IT, but I need insurance. I want to be that guy. Let's go to Keegan. He knows the answer. If he can't help me, at least he'll point me in the right direction.
How you doing? So my question is about how big is your team right now, and how did you go about bringing those people onto your team?
Great question. So I have a team of 3. I am the full-time person, and I have 2 technicians. One of them is a junior tech, and the other one is a mid-level tech. Right now, both of my techs are 1099 contractors, and the reason why they're 1099 contractors to be honest, I don't have 40 hours of work for them every week. Some weeks I might have 80 hours because we have all these projects going on, but another week I might not have but 20. So again, everyone has to feed their family, right? We have to pay the bills. So right now, that's the where they are. So it's a team of 3, myself and 2 contractors. Some of my stuff I outsource. So I have a company that I work with that does my training, my onboarding. I have a company that I work with that does my bookkeeping. I'm a big proponent of outsourcing. So I wouldn't ask you to outsource your IT to me, and I don't believe in outsourcing myself.
We have time for one last question. Where do you see yourself or your business in 5 years?
5 years from now, I see myself, and I haven't decided if it's going to be in the Cedar Hill or DeSoto area, but basically having my own office space, having a team of about 7 folk focusing on in different disciplines, a marketing team, a sales team, and an operations team. My goal is really to bring people in now at the beginning where we're our foundation base and let those people grow up within the company. So my VP of marketing, VP of sales, my goal is that is somebody that was with me, you know, in the early months of my company, and they grew and helped the company get to where it is.
Very nice. Let's give one final round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiva. Thank you. Okay, great. So this is our half point where we like to do announcements, and then we'll invite our next presenter on stage. First, this is a good time for you to actually go into the app as well, let me remind you. Then you can start to give feedback now. Thank you to our sponsors. We have video, Michael Bruner, who captures the video of this event, and he uploads it to YouTube as well as our 1 Million Cups Dallas website. So if you ever miss an event that you'd like to see, you just go there and play back the video. So thank you to Michael for doing that for us. He's in the back, right there by the double doors. And we're so thankful to Capital Factory and the Deck for hosting us here every week. We're also thankful to our new sponsor for the day, the photo booth from Incredible Sounds. Chris is also on the 1 Million Cups team, and he runs this business where he does DJing, and he also does photo booths and a lot of fun stuff for entertainment. So he is offering free photos for you all today, so be sure to grab a token from us. Thank you to Chris for bringing his photo booth, and also to our coffee sponsor. So if we could give a round of applause, that'd be great right now. So this is a thank you to all of them. And I would also like to invite to the stage from Dallas Baptist University. They're sponsoring our coffee all month. So they're keeping us caffeinated. We want to thank them for their free coffee, and we'd love to hear the message that they have for all of us today. Stephanie, please, let's welcome Stephanie to the stage, please. Thank you.
Good morning. Yes, I'm here from Dallas Baptist University. My name is Stephanie Amy, and no pressure when you have the VP of the school here and your boss. But yes, we are so grateful to be sponsoring the coffee for this month, and we are the Master of Science and Information Technology program. I'm the graduate advisor for that program. It is a new, what you would call a startup program within our school. We have been here for 1 year, and now have about 75 students who are actively enrolled, and we have 2 students here today. And we are so excited to have this program being initiated at Dallas Baptist. And so, as I said, this is a 36-hour degree, and it's helping prepare students as well as individuals lead out in the technology industry and become prepared within just the working field and be able to prepare to lead a team of tech. And so with that, we lead out in technology, business, and management courses, which help prepare eventually students in the future to come and to lead out in their business. And so we are just excited to be here, and we're so grateful to the Capital Factory and 1 Million Cups to letting us come here and be able to sponsor for this month. So thank you guys. For those of you who haven't been here, we are doing a drawing, so drop your business card in there. It's a way for us to network with you. We're giving away a goodie bag. It also includes a $20 Uber gift card, so a lot of you Uber. So throw your business card in there, and we'll do a drawing at the end, and we hope to hear from you guys. If you have any questions about the school or what our program's up to, just ask us. Thanks.
Okay, good stuff. If you're standing in the back and you'd like to get a little closer, you're welcome to do that. Catherine, the music is pretty cool. You're adding to the ambiance. Thank you. Is that part of your presentation? Yeah, it is now. Cool. Okay, so we are going to invite our second presenter, Keegan, to the stage. And it says Catherine Parker, but Catherine is Director of Marketing for BriteBee. She's the one that's got the music going, so that fits in with marketing for your team. As we welcome Keegan to the stage, you are the lead, I guess you're the lead, and you'd like to share with your company things, share your company with us. He's from Oklahoma today, and a round of applause for you from our team.
All right, can everyone hear me? My name is Keegan, I'm with BriteBee. I'm sorry about the music, we were going to live stream, but for some reason, Baby Shark music is coming through instead of a Facebook Live. So I'm not exactly sure what that is. I'm not sure what music she's actually listening to on the side, but we'll save that for another day. So really quick, before I start, I want to ask you this. When I start talking about insurance, don't zone out on me. I know that, do we have an insurance agent in the room? Nice. Farmers?
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. Thanks for being here. So, really quick, I want to ask you this. I want you to dream with me for a second. I want this to be about us having a conversation and you actually contributing to what BriteBee is trying to do for you. All right? So, can I get a nod of heads that that's what you can do? All right, fantastic. So, what is BriteBee? Well, BriteBee is a company that's providing insurance quotes that don't sting. We actually allow you to quickly shop and compare insurance quotes online with trusted insurance agents of your choice and your control. The great thing about it is that it is spam-free and also no phone calls, no spam emails, no texting, right? Have you ever experienced where you put your information in a lead gen site, you click submit, and then you think, oh my gosh, what did I just do? Anyone done that? Anyone still dealing with it? So a lot of the times, you not only deal with it for a couple of months, but you also deal with it for a couple of years sometimes. Catherine looked for insurance, for health insurance, and it was about a year ago, and she's still getting calls today. So what's the problem? Well, the consumers first have a problem. You, the consumer, wants to search online. You guys use online every day, right? Whether you want to search online to actually complete your quotes online, or you just want to get some more information about who might be the best person to actually get an insurance quote from, you want to be able to do that in a safe and secure way, right? You don't want people to sell your information. And the fear is, a lot of the times, unfortunately, with insurance, is that there's a lot of companies out there that are selling your information, your data, so that they can monetize it as much as they can. The agents, though, have a problem as well. They want to be found online. They also want to be able to grow online. And the great thing is they want to be looked at as a transparent and a trusted resource as well. But the problem is that the companies that have approached them and say that they can do this have really not put them in a very good light. They really look like a step below a car salesman. And that's, we know, is not the truth, right? So to tell you a little bit about me, I actually was in the insurance industry. I actually had an insurance agency myself, and I was thankful enough to actually have a successful exit and sell my agency just recently. A couple of things just to tell you a little bit more about me is the reason why we started BriteBee. When I started BriteBee, someone said to me, Keegan, I don't know how long the insurance agent's going to be around. And I thought, great, I have 0 clients, and I just signed a lease on my office. What am I going to do now? And so what we started learning as we grew our team, as we grew the business, is that insurance agents are extremely important. And the reason for that is because people are important. It's just the part that we need additional resources, different channels to actually reach new people and actually provide a trusted resource online. So how does BriteBee solve this problem? BriteBee solves this problem by providing you, the consumer, a way to share your information securely, compare quotes online directly on BriteBee, and then also communicate on the BriteBee platform as well. So to give you an idea of what this looks like, you go online, you put your information in, You put your phone number and your email in for BriteBee, and we can actually communicate through that platform with you. And at that time, you can actually pick qualified agents up to your list of up to 5 insurance agents. At that time, the information is then sent to those 5 only, saying that, hey, this person wants a quote from you, which is great for the agent because they know that they got picked. And then at that time, you can communicate through the platform. So you never have to worry about getting a phone call here, or getting an email here, or getting a text message, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So to tell you a little bit about our team, as I said, I'm Kagan, the CEO, and call myself the dreamer. Kelly Thomas, our co-founder, is our CTO, and he's our builder. Catherine Parker is here with us as well. She's in our marketing and Baby Shark. And then we also have Avery and Hunter White, and they are our associates who do a lot with our sales and also our content marketing. To give you a little idea of our key players, we have many different people on the platform that represent, such as Farmers, AAA, Shelter, Allstate, and many more. We have lots of different people who have partnered with us that we believe are going to be very beneficial in actually helping with whether it's our social impact or also reaching more agents and providing more value for insurance agents. So what people are saying about the platform. Some say it saved them almost $1,700 and they found an agent that they never would have known. Agents are saying that it's actually a quality prospect. We ask a lot more questions than what a lead generation site would ever ask. They also say it's user-friendly, and we actually want to have outstanding customer service. So what's next? We really ask you first off to dream with us. I've got 15 seconds, so if you can, go to our Facebook page and like us. We would love that. Go to our LinkedIn and connect with me or Catherine or our team. And I know you guys are going to ask a lot of other questions of what we can do for you, and I'll get to that in just a moment. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now open up the floor for questions. And the first question is, what can we do for you as a community?
Yeah, so as I said, dreaming with us right now on these questions, we actually have some of our best conversations when people actually dream with us versus asking the normal questions. Well, how do you make money? Or all that stuff. That's great. But honestly, I don't know how that benefits you whatsoever. How we make money, unless you really want to be a partner with us or make money with us. What I would love for you guys to do is give us your feedback on what you think, whether good or bad, or dream with us to maybe what would actually benefit you on a platform like this if you're looking for insurance.
Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, sir.
Actually, just a comment, not a question. I think when you, and I didn't mean that you discouraged us to ask questions other than how we can dream with you, but there are many here that came for a reason to also learn from other entrepreneurs. So I think I wouldn't discount such questions because they're very relevant to this community.
Yeah, definitely not discounting. What I would like to share with you guys is that we actually had a recent 1 million cups. And the dreams that came from the audience, it not only benefited us dramatically, we actually made major pivots to our company.
There are 2 kinds of questions.
Great.
Because you sound like somebody can be only this side.
Oh, definitely
Which is
not.
something
I'm
you
so
said
sorry.
to
I'm
us.
so sorry that you think that. So, any other questions?
Are you up and running?
Yes, we are. Yes, we actually launched in Dallas about a month and a half ago.
Okay, so I guess my question is, I'm looking for new auto insurance.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, my policy keeps going up
Yeah.
every year. No tickets, no incidents, no accidents, but they still tell me that so how can you help me or someone like me in that position?
Definitely. So we allow you to compare online up to 5 insurance agents at one time. We limit it to 5 because we know in the searching process it's already sometimes overwhelming for you. And so what we allow you to do is put your information in once. You can pick multiple agents of multiple different companies such as Farmers, AAA, or you can also pick independent agencies who represent other companies as well. And you can really aggregate all of that information to say, okay, what's actually the coverage that I'm getting, but also what price am I looking at as well. You can also have multiple conversations with the people that truly are offering you the best coverage and best price.
Would that eliminate my insurance agent?
It wouldn't. We believe eliminating the insurance agent is not worth it. We believe that having those conversations of what you're saying, is very beneficial. Eliminating the insurance agent is not really the way that we believe you need to go. We just need to be able to kind of aggregate multiple pieces of information first, and then you can start having those conversations based upon the information that you have. Sometimes it's the other way around. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
My name is Cordero. I think it's a pretty cool idea. It kind of reminds me of like Thumbtack in a way. I have a two-part question. First one is, what's the inspiration for the name, BriteBee?
Yeah.
And the second is, what types of insurance do you offer?
Definitely. So I'll start with the second question. We offer property and casualty. So right now, we're focusing on the home and auto. That's one of our sweet spots right now, and then we'll definitely add more as we continue to see what our agents are offering. So some of the things we'll be offering is renters, life, things of that nature. We want to make sure that we're in line with our agents. And the other thing is that you asked in regards to the BriteBee and the name. And so we want to be a light to the industry. Unfortunately, as we all know, when someone says insurance, it's not the first thing you think of, like this is just the most wonderful thing ever. And so what we want to do is be a light in this industry. The other thing is the B, it's resilient. 24/7 work, it provides something of great quality. And so we want to be something that's a light, but also that's working 24/7 for our consumers and also for our agents to provide that sweet experience. No pun intended.
Two questions.
Yeah.
How are you different from a traditional online broker, and who are your competitors?
Good question. So a couple of things, how we're different. First off, we do not sell the information of the consumers. So that is big. We do not monetize on that way. We actually monetize based upon agents who are on our platform. We actually just pivoted to a freemium model. So we actually do not, we don't have a revenue stream with our agents right now. But what we're doing is to grow our insurance base and be able to utilize that data to say how can we best monetize, but how can we best serve our agents while we're monetizing. In regards to, I'm sorry, you had a two-part question. What was the other part?
Who are your competitors?
Who are competitors? So the competitors are going to be a lot of lead gen sites. So lead gen sites who are doing the exact opposite of what we're doing. Those, for instance, would be like EverQuote, Quote Wizard. I don't know if you've ever heard of those. Those are some that EverQuote actually IPO'd recently. So that's one of our competitors out there. Yes, sir.
Hey Keegan, my name is Brendan Richardson. I'm actually the brand manager for the Rainy Offers Agency with Farmers Insurance. So I had a quick question. Yes. So I had a quick question. How do you actually go about choosing the agents that are featured on your website?
Yeah, so we actually don't choose them ourselves. We do go out there and market to them if that's what you're asking. So we are a public online directory, so any agent is welcome to come on. One of the things that makes us different is that we do have a rating system that will continue to be updated as we get more data and more analytics behind. But what it does is it starts really filtering out the agents who are performing better than the others. So when people are responding quicker, we have agents on there that won't even respond to the quote request, and someone actually chose them to get a quote from them. And so those things will have ratings based upon that to make sure that you go up to the top when you're responding quicker or when you're providing quotes quicker. We have multiple different data points there in our algorithm.
Any more questions?
So are you able to transact the policies on your platform?
Yeah, so we do not transact our policies on our platform. So once you decide that that quote's the best quote for you, we ask that you go ahead and contact the agent themselves. At this point, we would prefer not to be involved in the transaction process. Just because of regulation, it's a lot easier for us to scale in the markets and provide more solutions to the agents than to try to transact every policy at this moment.
So then you get a fee from the agent that signed the policy.
We actually don't. That's not our revenue model. So we, as I said, we actually just pivoted to, we were subscription based, and we will continue that at some point, but we've actually pivoted to a freemium model so that we can actually scale. And so we can scale nationally and have a national presence and a larger brand in that way. and then we will move back into a more of a subscription model, but also some additional key features and add-ons that will provide us the monetization.
Thank you.
And thank you.
I know you didn't want this kind of question, but
Ask
so
it.
is there revenue right now?
No,
And
we're pre-revenue.
Okay, and so what is your business model? I know you're planning to go back there, but what is your model now?
Our business model is growth. So our business model right now is actually just providing a freemium model to get as many agents on the platform as possible, and on a large scale. So we actually, just to kind of tell you our growth strategy, it might sound small, but really for our team it's very large. We're looking to get 5 agents per state by the end of the month. So that's, if you guys understand anything about calling and selling and everything else, you know that's a lot of work for just 5. We're going to have to hit probably 2,400 to 3,000 people in this month just to get those 5 per. So what we're doing is we're scaling it, and we'll be able to utilize that data and talk to more people to understand how we can serve them better, and we'll monetize off of that.
Have you done fundraising, and how are you paying your team?
Sure. So we have, I personally fundraised quite a bit, and then also we've done a family and friends round. We've really hit our seed round, and we're going into a growth stage, really between that seed and the stage of Series A. And so can't talk much about the investment portion, but of course, if you guys know of anyone, we would love to talk to them.
We have time for a few more questions.
So I guess I see how, from the agent's perspective, you're different. But if I'm a consumer, obviously those lead gen sites have a lot of success, and people line up to go to those sites. So if I'm a consumer, why do I go to BriteBee instead of EverQuote?
Great question. So one of the things that lead gen struggle with is retention. They're very good about bringing people on. For instance, EverQuote, 99% of how they drive traffic is paid. That is not sustainable for a long period of time, especially when you're trying to keep customers. Their business model may not be to keep customers, but our business model is that you could actually come back to our site yearly if you wanted to. We recommend staying and being loyal to an agent, but you know what? It's always good to know. And so we recommend that you do search every 2 to 3 years. And so with that being said, you can come back onto our platform and not have to input the information again, and actually request quotes right from the very beginning. So you don't have to go through all that process. Also, you're not going to be getting the harassing phone calls. You're not going to be getting all the emails and not knowing how to turn them off.
And maybe one follow-up.
Sure.
You said by the end of the month you hope to have 5 agents in each state.
Yes, sir.
What states do we have now?
Yeah, so we are actually in Oklahoma and we're in Texas. So that's where majority of our agents are. We do have some agents kind of across the state in different areas, such as like California, New York, but we haven't marketed to those. Those have just been people seeing our brand and wanting to be a part of it.
Just to follow up on that, certainly you said it, from a consumer perspective, it's probably only yearly or at best twice a year that I'll need your service. Once I get an insurance policy in place, it's up to the renewal time where I'll probably come and look again at your site and seek your services. I say that because that will present to you some opportunity or threat for competition to come up with something more disruptive in this year. The second is from a lifetime value of your customers. If you're going to at some point monetize your consumer side, not the agency side, that's going to be very challenging against the cost of acquisition that you said you're putting on the other side. I mean, you're spending right now to attract agencies. So it would be interesting. I'm sure you've thought through all of that if you're going through funding and trying to convince investors, but can you share any insight as to what the ratio is between what you're spending to acquire both sides of your platform as opposed to what you're getting lifetime from, whether it's an agency or a consumer?
Sure. So we don't actually spend a lot of money on our agents. A lot of our cost there is going to be labor. So yes, we do spend money.
You just said that to make 5
agents, that's a lot of effort that is costing.
Absolutely, yes. So cost of labor, that's where we're going to be there. Marketing-wise, we don't spend a lot of marketing dollars per se on that end. We really do spend a lot of our marketing on the consumer side. As I said, we just pivoted, so to be honest with you, that ratio is going to change quite a bit. We're actually moving a lot of our funds for marketing to specific video advertising and social media. We actually have a partner who's going to do a lot of sweat equity for us. So we're actually going to be moving into that. So that's not answering your question fully. I'm happy to talk about it more, but we don't know yet.
We're thinking of acquisition and retention, basically. That's impossible.
I'm so sorry.
Certainly you have a retention issue, not only acquisition issue. I mean, attrition is going to be high.
Absolutely.
Because it's a yearly event. In a year, I'll probably not come back to you unless you stay in touch with me.
Sure.
And that's also costly.
Yeah.
So it's acquisition and retention, and it's a year cycle more or less, or let's say 6 months. And I know you have a revolving door, kind of people coming in and out, but not enough to create a monthly recurring revenue, if you will, of
Sure.
another consumer.
Yeah, with recurring revenue for a consumer, that's not going to be the case. We are looking at a 6 to 1 month return rate. I mean, they're not going to be using the site every day. Now, with the data that we're getting, we're going to be looking for other ways to be able to say, how can we bring them back? Or how can we offer more value to them while they're on the site at that time? So definitely, we don't have that much data to prove that yet, but we know it can definitely happen.
We have time for one last question. Maybe mine is shorter for this. Actually, we'll let you go first.
Okay.
So per your comment around dreaming, so here's my dream. I don't want to think about this at all. Like, I work in insurance. I'm a licensed insurance agent. I run an insurance company. But my point is, I would love to be able to just take my auto document, my policy coverage page that spells out my coverage levels and my premium. And then at that moment, whatever the renewal is, or if we want to cancel the policy and issue a new one and bind it, like, I'd love to be able to just upload my policy document, have 5 agents reach out to me and say, hey, I can meet your current policy by 25% with the same coverage levels, and you'll still get this great reputable, whatever it's State Farm, whoever that is.
Yep, we're dreaming on the right path.
So if you make that as easy as possible and painless as possible, I do think there's a lot of value.
So let me ask you a question on that, since we're dreaming here. So we do allow for you to upload your deck page if you want to. One of the things we know, we have to have a few bits of information just to make sure that they can give you an accurate quote. But would you say that it would be desirable for anyone to be able to upload your deck page, put in a couple bits more of information and say, hey, look, can you give me an estimate from these 5 people? At least give me an estimate so I can know really who I want to talk to moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if I'm using the website, I love the idea if you want to play matchmaker with me and an insurance agent, but I don't really care about that insurance agent as a person, quite frankly, in the environment you're creating. I care more about, hey, can you beat my current policy by 25% and still give me the same level of coverage with a reputable insurance company?
Yeah.
So it's like, just the facts, man.
Yeah.
So anyways, I guess I would say, like, if I could just upload the document and say, hey, give me your best shot, what can we do here? That's all I care about.
It's almost like a speed date.
So that's my attempt at dreaming.
She wants speed dating too. All right. So.
That's great. Thank you. The agents, if you don't mind this last question, because we just have like 1 minute. The agents that come onto your platform, they're the ones being charged the subscription. Is that right?
Correct. So we
Okay.
don't charge a subscription right now,
But you will in the future.
Revenue.
So are they currently doing this with other platforms right now, or are you the first one offering this? I have no
Yeah,
idea.
so in this way, absolutely. So other platforms offer, such as just a little directory with your name, phone number, whatever. We offer analytics behind as well. So we would say we're like the Yelp for insurance agents when going through the platform. We definitely function more geared towards the insurance agent because that's the industry that we're in. You're not going to find a Chinese food restaurant like right by the insurance agent when you're looking. You're going to find an insurance agent. So you're really going specifically to find insurance professionals.
Okay. My thought is that there's got to be some incentive for the insurance agents first to find you and then to trust you and to want to be on your platform, which is going to require massive marketing to win them. Really, we have to kind of wrap this up, and then you guys can all talk to Keegan and ask him all the questions you want, because they're going to hang out. Let's see how long your question is.
Influencer marketing.
Yeah, so we have, I don't know if you've had any experience with it. Have you had experience with it? Okay. I think you're, absolutely, we're in the same thought process. So what we're really trying to find out right now, here's our pain point, is that there's not a lot of influencers on the consumer side for insurance influencers, but there's someone out there. We just haven't found the right person. And so definitely, yes. And so that is one thing we definitely working on.
Your influencers on the consumer side aren't going to be traditionally, like for me, I'm a wedding planner, it would be wedding websites. Yours are going to be stay-at-home moms, those type of people. So you're going to want to hit up bloggers who are marketing to those people who choose the insurance company. So that would be your influencer marketing area that you should target.
Fantastic. That was fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was great. So as I said, both presenters are going to stick around. You are welcome to hang out in the space and connect with whoever you'd like. This is also a great time to get into the app and give your feedback, because if you don't now, you probably will forget, and by tomorrow that option will no longer be there. This is what the presenters come on stage for. They would really love to know what you felt about their presentation, and the 1 Million Cups team would love to know as well. Okay, so Capital Factory does offer tours of this space, so you are welcome to check in with Kinga. Kinga, can you give us a wave? There she is. So just make sure that you connect with her, and then she'll give the tour. Yes. Is this who won? Oh, fantastic. Okay, so Dallas Baptist University has done the draw of the business card, so they will have a prize. Stephanie, you want to come here and announce whose card this is? Let's see who it is.
Joshua Kidd.
Oh, hey. Awesome. Congratulations. Fantastic. Good. So thanks again, you all, for coming today. We love seeing you. Please bring a friend next time. Is there anything that I'm missing for our announcements? No? Okay. Everyone, co-working is available again. Just stay out of the conference rooms, please, and the second floor is closed. Glad to have you here. If you have any questions, you can connect with me personally as well. I'm happy to meet you and greet you. So thanks for coming. We'll see you next week.